Hello viewers and welcome to some action on Skylanders Superchargers. This will be released on the 25th of September, and as you can see here, it's a bit of a fun Mario Kart style racing, and I saw this at Gamescom and thought let's get some footage, as we love all of our racing games on this channel. And for me it makes a bit of a change as well from all the serious racing stuff, just to enjoy a bit of this sort of fun action. Now, we've got two videos coming up on the channel. We've got this one here, which is going to be direct feed, and we've got the one which we're going to look at now, which is filmed off screen. And of course, besides this, we'll show some flight levels, and you can see some of that here as well. Really nice visuals, but we'll get to all of that. First, I sit down on the game myself and see how I get on. So it's time to start off by blinding a small child with my light in the background, as you do. Bit of racing here, so I'm racing against journalists and some of the invited sort of guests that were there. A whole bunch of kids were there and really enjoying the game, and that's the point of a game like this. It's something for essentially for all the family to enjoy. It's fun to play, nice random characters, wonderful graphics. I mean, you can see there yourself. I mean, even filmed off the TV, you know, the visuals were really nice. So obviously, my first go, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I didn't even know what the buttons were at this stage. I was going through these rings. I figured they must do something good, but actually it's the lit rings that are the ones you need to go through, not the ones that are, as you see here, not lit. So the red ones I'd have needed to have gone through. That one there's lit, so away you go. It gives you a boost. The boosts are all in the ground, but again, using your stick here, lifting the nose to give you a bit more flight. I did it automatically, just wipeout style. So what are we looking at? A game very much in the sort of Mario Kart vein. I guess in a way for me it's somewhere between Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing. Diddy Kong Racing would be the biggest influence for what I've seen. Even a Motortoon Grand Prix has sort of had a very similar sort of style to this. And it's one of those where once you get used to the weapons, anyone can win. I mean, you can be in last place, and then the game will give you a little boost to make it a real leveler. So this isn't a serious game. It's just really nice fun in this wonderful world they've created based on Skylanders, and just working my way around. I actually didn't know how to use my weapons at this stage. Trying to figure out what button it was. Whoa, didn't get that quite right. Remember not to swear. I do swear like a trooper sometimes when I'm playing these games, so I always have to. I was talking to myself, keep in YouTube mode, don't swear. So at the end of the day, working my way through. I'm up into second place. I don't even know how I did that. Now I'm getting electrocuted by this thing that looks like it's out of Crash Bandicoot. Doesn't matter, I'm okay. So I've played a few racing games before, which means I sort of took to this pretty quickly. Quite enjoyed it actually. It's a nice change. I think really in sort of kids racing games there's not so many now. I remember years ago, you know, we had Crash Team Racing was really popular. You know, besides Mario Kart and Diddy Kong and all these, there was all these nice sort of fun racing style games, and you don't see quite so many as you used to. But it's good to see Activision putting some investment in here. Working my way around over the jump. And these shields, these obviously that's a shield, so it's pretty. They protect you against a lot of enemy fire. And I'm leading right now, which means I'm the target for pretty much everything. And now I'm not leading anymore. So a slight controller problem for me there. I'm running again in the race, and away we go. So down in 7th place now. I'm going to have to use all of my skills from racing games to close up. I used to love Mario Kart battle modes. Actually, let me know in the comments how many of you actually did play Mario Kart. Which was your favourite Mario Kart? Which one did you like the battle mode on the best? Actually, I played loads of the SNES the most, but I thought the best battle mode was on Mario Kart 64. I thought the battle mode maps on there were inspired and genius. Ultimately, they were quite disappointing on Mario Kart Double Dash, which came out a few years after that. Going back a bit there, though, a few years ago. Here we go, look. It's giving me like this rocket boost, which is just sort of one of those things that the game gives you if you're a long way behind. And I guess that's important, you know, because you've got kids of all ages who are going to be playing it. They need something to work as a leveler. So I just thought that's it now. Work my way through. And this game is nearing the end stage of development, just a couple of months till launch. So lots of fine tuning to do. Testing.
Everyone does have armor on their vehicle, and they also have health on their driver. If both the armor and the health completes to 0, so that's what happens.
I wasn't able to get the rings back in the lead though, despite those problems I had with my controller earlier. And keeping it together. I know I'm not far to the finish now. There's a journalist beside me, he's really competitive, but it doesn't matter because I've won. What a comeback, what a comeback. So second race, unfortunately I couldn't start the race till about a minute after everybody had gone due to my camera battery running out, which was typical. So I thought let's at least get a look at the course for those of you that are interested to see what it's like. And really nice. I mean, the visuals were fantastic. I didn't have a clue where I was going, but I was finding it a lot of fun. Again, wonderful environments. It kind of reminds me of many different games. You know, obviously we talk about Mario Kart, but almost a wave race feel as well to the water. And it kind of reminded me, you know, it's such a shame we don't get many water-based racing games. You know, Wave Race 64 was awesome when it came out. And I think if we hadn't one now with modern visuals at 60 frames, I mean, I'd really like to see super smooth 60 frames per second, well-produced water in a game like that. It'd be lovely. It had a really nice sort of sunny, glossy vibe to it. So working my way around. This race isn't as long as the one you just saw. It's much quicker. But I think I was sitting on the grid for some time, so I'm probably lapped by now. Working my way around. But you know what's interesting about this game? On every map is, as convoluted as they are, as crazy, I always seem to know where to go. I always seem to know which way the circuit was going and was able to adapt for it. Even though this was my first time just on each course, it just seemed quite intuitive. You can see working my way up. I quite like this section, but didn't see that piece of ice right in the way. Trying to take the racing line wasn't the right way forward there. Started a little bit too far behind on this race to close up, but see the underneath of the water there as well. Really nice little effects. Again, beautifully designed. I mean, I keep saying it, but it's one thing I'll say about this game. I really was quite taken at the work and the passion the developers have had in putting this together. Best game of its type in a long time. Obviously, you know, in this go we were playing against other people, so it's difficult to say how recommended it is, but from a personal front I enjoyed it immensely. And now we're playing the flight style of game. Again, really nice visuals on this, and it was so intuitive. You know, this is again our first go. Didn't know where I was going, and yet it felt so obvious. You know, you just follow the arrows and it takes you around, and you know, pushing forward with your nose here to do this section. Look at that, really nice visuals, really intuitive. Strange, because I haven't played a flight game in a long time, and yet just picked it up. And those Star Fox skills came straight back to me going through those rings. Cutting it fine there, mind you. Great feeling as you swoop down, swoop through here, avoiding those tornadoes. Oh, tried to do a barrel roll and save myself there, but pretty cool, pretty intense feeling. follow our way around. So I've already led this race. I think I ended up just leading most of this race. I just took to this like a duck to water, and it makes you realise how few flight racing games there are, really. It's added sort of so much to it. But it really needs sort of a fantasy environment like this. Tells me as well how much we miss Wipeout existing in terms of sort of futuristic flight racing as well. Such a shame Sony didn't support that title and disbanded the team. Obviously Formula Fusion is coming, but the jury's still out as to whether that's going to be any good. We have asked for access, but nothing granted there yet, but we'll keep working for that. We'll get there. Closing up now though. You can see how competitive it is between us though. I mean, these guys are doing pretty well. And it was really nice, and big thanks to the developers for sort of hovering around and giving us some advice. Saves so much time when you can turn up, get your recording done, get the advice that you need on how to play it, and really have some fun at the same time with everybody. You know, I miss some of the sort of simple multiplayer sessions like this. These days, multiplayers, a lot of people take it really seriously, so it's nice to just do something that was a bit of fun. And in the next video, it's going to be direct feed, so there'll be a little bit of the flight game in direct feed and a little bit of the land racing. So air, sea, land action. It's all handled very well in Skylanders Superchargers. It was a nice little surprise to try this out at Gamescom. So going for that outer ring. I'm slowly learning on every lap the line I want to take. A good win there, and there'll be more from me very soon.